Hey, y'all, it's Shira Lakeisha. I hope y'all are having a great and amazing day. We are on the 31 Notes to You from the book of Proverbs. And man, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I hope y'all are as well. And man, this is going to be a brief video. Just getting straight to the point. Okay, seriously. Don't let them do it to you. Okay? Do not let them make you feel guilty. All right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because we're about to go right into the scripture right here, okay? We coming from chapter 12 today, note 12, and I put, I think that's Scar. I put Scar on the front of this, y'all. I put Scar on here. You know, he's the one of the Decepticon, the deceptive brother. So I put him on the front of this. But we on note 12 today, okay? And we're coming from Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26 today, okay? And it says, the righteous should choose his friends carefully. Come on, y'all. The righteous should choose his friends carefully. For the way of the wicked leads them astray. For the way of the wicked leads them astray. Y'all hear that? Okay. So that's it right there. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. Don't let them do it. If you transitioning right now, especially if you just gave your life to Christ and it's been a couple of weeks and you starting to feel like you want to go back to your old ways, go hang with the old people, don't do it. Don't let them guilt trip you, okay? Don't let them say, oh, you acting funny. Oh, who you think you better than everybody. Oh, you remember you used to do this, you used to do that. You know what, man? I don't even think I like you no more, man. Man, you different. You changed. Let them talk. Let them talk, because it says when you come to Christ, you are a new creation. Always have passed away. No looking back. You look back, you turn into a pillar of salt. Do not let them guilt trip you, y'all. This is the time where y'all need to get around godly people, okay? And it could be uncomfortable getting around godly people around this time because you transitioning, okay? You going from your old self to your new self. So you coming around this different group of people, and sometimes it can be uncomfortable because maybe you might feel like they judging you. Maybe you feel like they're not from the same tracks as you and they don't understand you. But give them an opportunity. Get to know them. A lot of them not really being judgmental. A lot of them been through way more than what you think, okay? Sometimes you can look at, some people that seem like they got, I say it seem like they got it all together because, the reason why I said seem like they got it all together because nobody has it all together, okay? But you could look at some people that look like they got their ducks in a row, okay? But you have no idea what them people probably have been through in life. Give them an opportunity. Do not look at them like they got a silver spoon in their mouth, because a lot of them didn't. A lot of them didn't. A lot of them been through some stuff. I know some people that you would never even know. They was on drugs out on the streets, and you look at them today, you can't even tell. You cannot tell unless somebody came and told you. Okay? You know what? Matter of fact, I was at work about this past week. And I was in one of the residents' room and they was watching the news. And what's that girl? I think I want to say her name's Sarah, but she was one of them the Latino girls that was trapped in the house with this man for over 15 years. It was 3 of them, and they, Amanda. I think that's her name, Amanda. And I think she was on the news. I don't watch the news much, y'all. So I just so happened to see it. But I looked at her and she was talking about, some children missing and, found the children. Her name was Amanda. I'm like, man, I looked at her like, no, if we did not know this girl's story, nobody would never know that she was in the house with this man being raped repeatedly, beat repeatedly as a child or from a teenager all the way up to her adult life, where she couldn't even come outside, and I think they had babies by the man and all kinds of sick stuff. Okay, you would never be able to look at this girl and tell. And I remember it was just this past week, I looked at TV. I'm like, is that girl? I'm like, that's her. I forgot she had got a job working for the news right after all of that stuff. Like, I forgot all about it. But I said all I have to say is you never know what people been through. So if you transitioning and you leaving your old lifestyle and you trying to get away from some of the people that you was hanging around before, not because you don't like them no more, not because you look down on them, it's because you're doing what's best for you. Maybe you got children. Especially if you got children, you would just want to do right for your children now. You got to think about your life is not about you no more. It's about your children. And that's what, that's where you could just look and be like, that's the why to make me cry. That's the why to make you cry when you think about your children just wanting a better life for them. So whatever transition you're going through, I just feel an urge to talk about this right now. whatever transitioning you're going through, go through it, read your word, get obsessed with self-development. I'm just giving you some tips on things you can do to try to stay focused so you don't go backtrack into your old ways or go around some of the same people that's going to try to guilt trip you. And, you know, I'm about to wrap it up, though, but, you know, they always trying to, you know, make it seem like, oh, you changed, and who you think you is, and you think you this now, and you remember you did this, you remember, you know, when they try to do that and make you feel guilty, what about them trying to come up to where you at, though? Why we always got to go down to where they at? Why we always got to try to humble? They always like to say, humble yourself. But I had got a revelation from humble. When they say be humble, being humble, I had got it from a YouTube channel I was watching. It was either this year or last year. But one of the key things she said was, being humble is being in alignment with God. Being humble is not trying to be on people's level. Being humble is being in alignment with God, because when you're in alignment with God, that means you're going to have to do some things you don't want to do because God said do it. You know what I'm saying? And to people, it might be like, oh, they didn't want to hear this at that time, or they didn't receive it at that time, or whatever it may be. But you're in alignment with God. You're not in alignment with people. You see what I'm saying? So when they try to guilt trip you, tell you change, and you start feeling a little guilty, don't fall into it, okay? I'm going to read the scripture one last time. It says, the righteous should choose his friends carefully, for the way of the wicked leads them astray. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. Use discernment, y'all. All right, that's it for tonight, okay? I'm going to wrap it up, okay? Y'all have a great and amazing day. If you're looking for a life coach, go ahead and email me at cinnursenetworks@gmail.com. Let's talk about it, okay? Especially if you're in that transition of what we talked about today, okay? Where you're going through, it's what I call an identity crisis, okay? It's going through, hey, you becoming this new person, and it can be a little scary sometimes, and it feel like you walking on that road alone, and it feel like don't nobody around you understand you. And I'm going to tell you right now, you probably going to always be dealing with that, because if you chosen or you a child of God, you always going to feel outcasted, okay? It's just going to feel like that. You might not necessarily be the outcast, but you're going to always probably feel like that, okay? Because the word tells us God's children are peculiar. Yes, we are peculiar. Okay, that's why sometimes we can identify with other people that's on the dark side. I'm talking about dark people. Okay, that's why sometimes we might get to coming around them, and we might seem like we identical, and we might have some of the same things. Like we like to isolate ourselves, and you know, some dark people, they like to isolate themselves as well. But I forgot who I got this from, y'all, but this lady made a good point. She said when we isolate ourselves, God's people, we're isolating ourselves to self-develop, you know, spend time with God, you know, build ourselves up. They're isolating themselves to set up wicked agendas. So it might look like y'all doing the same thing, but you're not. But sometimes you might see those wicked people, and then you might think that y'all are identifying y'all from the same tracks, and really y'all not. Y'all not, okay? So I don't know if that made sense, y'all, because I don't want this video to be too long, because I wanted to just get on here real quick. But I wanted to get on here real quick because we on 31 Notes to You from the book of Proverbs. And, you know, we committed this month. We committed to showing up every day, whether we feel like it or not, okay, for 31 days, all right? Regardless of what anybody got to say, we committed, all right? So anyways, y'all, email me, cinnursenetworks@gmail.com. Let's talk about it, okay? All right, I hope y'all had a great and amazing day, and I will see y'all in the next video. All right, good night.